You're listening to the Big Sci-Fi Podcast.
The biggest sci-fi podcast in the galaxy.
You're listening to the Big Sci-Fi Podcast, the biggest sci-fi podcast in the galaxy, with Adeena, Brian, Cris, and Steve. We're a part of the Trekkies Podcast Network, and we're having more fun than ever celebrating our 10th season and 4 years of friendship talking all things science fiction. Calling all sci-fi fans, you're invited to the party. Let's have some fun. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, aliens from across the galaxy, you're listening to the latest, freshest, most innovative episode ever of the Big Sci-Fi Podcast. Why is it the latest and the freshest? It's all because of Adeena. I'm not going to lie. Adeena Mignona, our intrepid world traveler, fresh off the boat of Star Trek, The Cruise, number 9. They celebrated the 60th anniversary. All kinds of Star Trek actors and behind-the-scenes people there, and as well our sci-fi sisters from the Trek Geeks Podcast Network. Other friends of ours of the show were there, and the three of us guys, we had a couple episodes where we were sitting here. We had fun. It was the three amigos. We had a blast talking about science fiction, but we were also a little jealous because we weren't on the cruise with our buddy Adeena. So, ladies and gentlemen, you may have guessed this episode is all about Adeena.
Yay.
Actually, it's which we're excited for, but it's really, we want to hear about the cruise and her adventures and what she saw and how it was. We did this last year.
Tell us about the food. I want to hear about the food.
Yes. How was the ice cream?
Yes.
Anyways.
Okay. Oh gosh, there's so much. There's so much, but you know, the first thing before you get on board is you have to remember it's a ship, not a boat.
I know. When we went on our cruise up to Alaska Lake, I'd say the boat and lingo. It's a ship.
It's a ship.
It's
ship, not a boat.
And what's the difference between a ship and a boat?
Size.
Yeah,
I don't know what
so.
size, but at some point you stop calling it a boat and then it becomes a ship. I don't know.
But then a submarine, which goes under the water, is called a boat. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, which is almost the same size as a ship.
Exactly.
I think.
No, not this ship. No. Submarines are not as big as this thing is.
Well, not a cruise ship, but I'm thinking like a smaller military. I don't know, something or another.
Yeah, well, this is my third on the Star. So this is my third Star Trek cruise, my 7th cruise overall, I think.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
You got beat
like
by
cruising.
6.
Cruising is fun.
Me too.
I highly recommend it.
How many? Nine overall?
No, 7 overall.
7 overall.
So you beat me by 7.
Me by 7. Yeah.
Well, I highly recommend it. And this one in particular, and I'm already booked for Star Trek The Cruise 10 next year in 2027, which will be celebrating like the 40th anniversary of Next Generation, among other things. And so I'm very much looking forward to that. But it's a fun time all around. And very cool. This year we sailed out of Port Canaveral, and I sadly missed rocket launches at both ends of the cruise. There was one the night before the cruise and one the morning we returned to port. And I missed them both.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, the one the night before, me and my friends so we drove down from Maryland, and me and my friend stopped off in Jacksonville, so a couple hours north. And even if I thought we would really see it much, I was too beat after the drive. I was going to bed. But coming back into port, the launch was supposed to be at 5:15 in the morning, and I'm an early person, so being up at 5 in the morning, no big deal. I got up, checked the launch schedule, and it had moved back by about 2 hours, so a little after 7. Well, so then we are docked back in port a little after 7, and it is foggy. It is so foggy you can barely see the ship like next to us. It's that foggy. So we wound up feeling the launch a little bit and hearing it a little bit, but absolutely saw nothing. So,
oh my goodness, not even a glow in the sky at all.
Nope. And I took several pictures just in case, because sometimes your phone will pick up data that you don't pick up with your eye. But no, when I went back and reviewed those pictures, nothing. So 30 years in the space industry, and I have yet to see a live launch.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I guess I won't tell you about the SpaceX we saw from our vacation home.
It's okay. I'll get there.
We didn't even know it was happening.
Yeah.
Until we saw it.
While we were down there, before we left, so from the back of the ship, you could see Artemis out on the launch pad.
Nice. You got a
picture. That's cool.
Right. While we were gone is when they had an issue with their helium stuff.
Yep.
So while we were gone, they rolled it back to the vehicle assembly building. And I like to think that when they do announce a new launch date, that maybe I do hop down back to Florida for that. So still possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should try. You should try for sure.
I'm tracking it just in case, so I might. But yeah, but that's has nothing to do with Star Trek other than the fact that Star Trek motivated, me to love outer space, really.
Yeah. I mean, why do I all of a sudden want to sing the Enterprise theme song, though? With hearing about all the shuttlecraft.
Are we doing
launches.
it? Are we in? Steve, are you in? Are we singing it?
Yeah. No, we're not.
Singing which? The
we're not singing anything. Fellas, we're not singing anything right now.
What about row your boat?
No, yeah, we need to do row your boat. Yeah.
No, Chris and I already did the Enterprise song at the
we did.
Convention.
It was fun.
Yes, we did.
Well, so Adeena, last time I remember you describing on the ship. Did I say that right? The ship?
Yes.
The ship.
Thank you.
Okay. The ship. All of the decorations looking like Star Trek. Was there anything unique or a little bit different flair for this cruise celebrating the 60th anniversary, or was it pretty much kind of similar stuff as last time?
Similar yet different. So the first 2 years that I went on, there were a lot of similar things, meaning so each of the bars, they rename and redecorate. And so the first 2 years I went on, several of them were the same. And what they did in the casino was the same. This year, they did make a bunch of changes. The casino was different. The bars were now different.
Okay.
And a lot of it had a TOS flair to them.
Okay, that's smart.
Very good.
But one of them was Quark's Bar.
Okay.
And then
awesome.
one of the events, the planned events at Quark's Bar was Armin Shimmerman was on the ship and he was behind the bar serving drinks.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, that's really cool.
Cool.
Was there a Tango contest or tournament? I thought I saw that online.
There
on
was
Facebook.
a Dabo table.
Oh, Dabo, yeah.
Yes.
Tango.
And they did.
What's Tango?
I don't know what Tango is, but there was a Dabo table.
Yeah, Tango is like their smaller game. They're like, I can't even think of how to describe it. It's not Monopoly, but it feels like it in some ways. But often Dax would play Tango with Quark.
Did it seem to you, Adeena, like the celebrities, the guests, and so on, a little more excited about this event because it was the 60th anniversary of the original series? Or
no, I mean we talked about it. Every time people were on stage, someone mentioned it. Usually the cruise director, TJ, who he introduces a lot of the entertainment, he would mention it. But other than that, I wouldn't say it was a huge discussion, but there were several events, so Denise and Mike Okuda did several presentations, and a lot of theirs had a focus on the original series and, 60 years of being fans and then being part of the franchise. So there was definitely a mix, but I do think that there was, a TOS flair. And of course, William Shatner was on the ship. He was one of the key guests. Was that the first
time he'd been on, or in a long time?
No, he's been on before, but this was the first time I'd ever been at an event with him.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
I did sign up for the photo op and autograph with him because even though it was a little on the pricier side, I knew if I didn't do it, I'd regret it.
Yeah.
Because as amazing as he is, he's not going to be around forever.
He's 95, so
Mhm.
yes,
Yeah.
and he's still doing really good. So that's quite amazing.
He is. I saw him in addition to the photo op and autograph. I saw him speak on stage a couple times, and yeah, he is a wonderful storyteller. And that was actually what his events were. Was he would have someone in the audience or one or two people basically ask a question, and it's not that he's answering the question; he's really using it as a springboard to tell stories.
Okay.
And I tell you. So I think maybe one of his stories I had heard a little bit before, but most of the things that he said I hadn't heard before. He is a very practiced storyteller, and he has so many stories to tell. So I could just sit there and listen to him forever. But let me tell you this. This is hilarious because I almost missed my photo op with him.
Oh my goodness,
no.
what happened?
Okay, so this is my third of these cruises, and you get used to the feel for the flow and how it all goes. And every day they give you the schedule of activities for the next day.
The night before, right?
Right. The night before
Yeah.
they give you a schedule of activity for the next day. However, before you get on the ship, they do give you kind of an overall schedule, but you know it's subject to change. So I was just so busy the week or two leading up to the cruise. I didn't look, and I never had because, I'll get it when I'm on the ship the next day. And the prior 2 years, I don't recall any photo ops happening that first night.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Goodness
so
gracious.
I didn't sleep well in the hotel the night before. We have a drive to the port, all the things. I'm out in the sun, and my friends and I, we have dinner. We sit down to dinner at 8:00 at night, which is, late for me. So by the time I'm going back to my cabin at about 9:45 p.m., which is after my normal bedtime, even if I was like well slept and rested, I'm tired. So I'm walking back to my cabin. I run into some other friends. I'm like, where are you guys going? They're like, oh, we're going to the photo ops. I'm like, photo ops now? Who's photo op? And it was so-and-so and so-and-so and Shatner. And I was like, I can't describe the look on my face. I was horrified because I'm like, and it was 9:45 and the photo op time was till 10:15. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And I hadn't seen my luggage yet because there was a little luggage snafu and it got delivered to the cabin late. Normally, I would go through my luggage and unpack before dinner, but I didn't get a chance to do that.
Yeah.
What I was wearing was not what I was planning on wearing for any of the photo ops. And I'm disgusted. I was a disgusting mess because I was sitting out in the sun all afternoon, all these things. But I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I run back to the cabin. I just brush my hair quickly. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm wearing. I grab my ticket and I go off to where the photo stuff is. Okay, I get there and it's like 5 or 10 of 10. Shatner has no line because all the people who came and went. So I go right up there and he says to me, why are you late?
Oh, she's being asked by the captain.
Ow.
Yes,
And I'm
I am
like-
so happy right now.
Admiral
like,
Captain Kirk.
Oh my
asking
God,
you
Mr.
why you're late.
Shatner, I am so sorry. This is what I am sorry, Mr. Shatner. I had no idea this was happening this evening. He's like, didn't you look at the schedule? I'm like, no, I didn't. This is my third cruise and it was never this night. So anyway, so I have my picture. So he's being completely good. I mean, this is not mean. Like he's not being
I want to
mean.
be chastised by William Shatner.
Yes, he's chastising me, but it's not in a really
Right,
mean
it's in
way.
good
He's doing it
fun.
with
Yeah.
a fun. He was being nice about the whole thing.
But he's also clearly like tired. It's 10:00 at night. He's he's clearly tired also. And it was luckily it wasn't just me because the people, the folks who were working the photos and everything, they know how many tickets they sold, and they knew that they were still expecting another like 20 or 25 people.
Oh
that had
wow!
to go.
See, it's not just you then. There
Wasn't
was a
just
good-
so I didn't feel
Okay.
super
that's
bad.
good.
Like not
All
just
right.
me. And I think they probably either did a refund or did a second session. They did something. They did something there. Anyway,
Right.
so I had my picture taken, and and what really gets me, okay, is for anyone who knows me, I do operate under the if you're not early, you're late.
Right.
Yes, sure.
And now this is my introduction to Shatner.
That's
Luckily, the good thing is they meet so many people. He meets so many people. The chance that he remembers me is like
Right. Yeah.
practically zero. Because
Yeah.
that was
At
not
least
the
he
impression
didn't-
I wanted to make.
buy you food that you didn't have money for. At least you're not in that situation.
Yep.
Chris, that's
So worry about
fantastic.
this.
I forgot about that. You need to have a 20 ready. Although he's
I'm
he's
going
not
to be
gonna
prepared
be at
this
Trek
time.
Long
I'm
Island.
going to be prepared for Trek Long Island.
So Adeena, my friend Todd Van Gorder and I went to GalaxyCon in Columbus, Ohio, several years ago now, and got to meet William Shatner and have a photo op with him. And we were the last ones in line for this
Just like
particular
me.
time period. Well, we were on time. It's just the rank
Okay.
of how we how we had to be filtered through the line. And so we walk in, and Todd goes, "Hey, look, Brian, it's T.J. Hooker."
Oh God.
And Shatner kind of he kind of like was, huh? Yeah, okay. I mean, he was very nice. He looked at us, he shook our hands, and it was we appreciated the photo very much.
Yeah.
But I was like, Todd, you do that again, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Now, in
I'm
addition
sure he
to-
enjoyed that, though. He might like some recognition for TJ Hooker. I always got the feeling that he was proud of that and wish it got like more love.
I'm blanking on the name. What was his name in Boston? Was it Denny Crane?
Danny Crane.
Danny Crane.
Yeah. Because that I watched a handful of those episodes solely for him. And, and I did enjoy that.
Yeah, he was good.
Quite a bit.
He won a couple Emmys for that role.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
To me, it's seeing when I saw him on Third Rock, and he was the big giant head.
Yeah.
The best role. It is truly who he is. He is the big giant head.
Yeah.
So now I'm curious. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Adeena.
I was gonna say that, but he was fantastic. He was fantastic to see. One of the evenings, John Delancey did like a musical thing. He brings some musicians from a place called the Curtis Institute of Music, and they also did, as part of that, the finale or whatever you want to call it for that was Shatner did Rocket Man.
Oh my gosh!
That's in the Shatner style. It was great. But what he said is during his talk about everything, he was talking about that and said, and this is something I didn't know. He said when that originally happened, when he originally did Rocket Man, he was thoroughly embarrassed about it because it was done at, I think, an awards show or something. It wasn't supposed to be recorded. He was just doing it for fun as a goof or something like that. And then it got recorded and got out. And then obviously it became like a kind of a big deal. So again, he's leaning into it, obviously, over the years, which was great fun. We all, everyone in the audience, loved it. Way fun.
Yeah. What other autographs did you get?
Thank you for asking that, Brian. You beat me to it.
And then I jump before Cris. So answer that, and then we'll let Cris go.
Okay. The only other two, because on the cruise I try to only do 2 or 3, because as everyone who's ever been to any of these conventions, they add up quickly. So I still have a lot to get. I chose Connor Trenier and Anthony Rapp.
Nice. Okay,
very good.
Specifically, I am trying to complete my Starfleet Engineers collection.
Okay.
Wow. So
that was why I chose them.
Okay. Who are you still missing your engineer wise?
Cole Meany.
Ah.
Ooh.
And now
Really
Carol
cool.
Kane, now that she's been added.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And
too.
then depending on how deep I want to go with engineers, like do I want, because I was really originally going for like just the chief engineer or the main engineering character. But do I want to go a little deeper than that? And how far? Like I'm regretting last year at AwesomeCon, why didn't I get Simon Pegg?
And that's
now
Simon Pegg, who is like even just beyond Trek.
Well, yeah, beyond Trek, but the reason I would have done it was I would have done it specifically for Trek. So why I didn't do that. And then now I don't remember the actor's name, but the new Strange New World Scotty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That would be cool too.
So how deep do I want to go? Again, originally it was just going to be like the main engineers on the main shows. But now I'm wondering, do I want to go a little further with that? I don't know.
Adeena,
I think you should.
Adeena,
Yeah.
Cole Meany's gonna be at GalaxyCon Richmond.
So
through the 22nd.
yes, I know, and I can't. I have plans that day that are not movable.
Oh, I was going to say,
no.
can you move them for?
No,
For
these
Brian?
plans are not ones I can move for that.
That's kind of that's
I thought
frustrating.
about it. I thought about it long and hard, but no.
I just saw that advertisement and looked it up just for you. But
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
dashed
We were
my-
looking it up, my
dashed
friend, when
my
we were
dreams.
driving home. I was talking about this with my friends, and we looked that up, and it was like, oh,
Yeah.
But so one of the things I'm very curious about with the cruise is now that you've done this is your third one.
Mhm.
How is it having dinners and interacting with the celebrities? Is it still exciting, or is it more? Are you more used to it now? What is that like for you?
it is still just as exciting, and as it's still just as exciting, and even if it's people that I've encountered before, it's still awesome. So one of my favorite encounters would be the last morning.
Mhm.
We get into port. At some point, they open up the buffet area for people to come eat. And I wasn't expecting to see any of the actors there. But, and me and my couple friends, we were there like early online. We were starving. Because, I'd gotten up early for the launch. So we're there.
Mhm.
We're starving. I'm starving. Todd Stashwick is there about the same time
Oh,
we
cool.
are.
Mhm.
He sat down at a large round table. So of course I'm like, yeah, can we join you? And again, he's sitting in that environment. The expectation is there's going to be interaction. And of course, some people are better or worse or more interested or less interested. He could have sat at a 2-person table, right? He sat
Right,
at like
absolutely.
a 6-person round table. Okay. So I said, can we sit? And then a couple other of my friends came in, they wound up sitting with us. So we had breakfast with Todd Stashwick, and he is awesome. He is so nice. We mostly talked about one of his earlier in the cruise. He had one of his panels was Dungeons and Dragons 101,
Oh
followed
my.
by
Okay.
actually doing a D&D game. So we were talking about that a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So now at some point he gets up and goes, and me and my friends, we have no reason to leave yet, so we're still staying. Out of the corner of my eye, I see John Delancey. He had just gotten his food and he was clearly looking for a seat. So I did the motion. I was like, hey, we have a seat right here. And yeah, he sat down. And he
Nice.
sat with us and ate
That's
for
amazing.
15 minutes or so too. And yep.
I
And
hate
it's
you
fun.
right now. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
can I say that too?
I absolutely
I'm very
despise
jealous.
you, Adeena Mignona.
But this just shows that they just want to chat. It's
Yeah.
you get away from the hero worship and the oh my god, it's the cue. They just want
And
to chat.
Most people on the boat aren't
On the what?
like, oh, I did it too. Most people on the ship.
Bam.
I knew I was going to do that. Most people on the ship, they're again, most people, there is some, I think, getting used to it. There are a lot of people who do get overly excited.
Yeah. I think
But
too there's
most
a
people-
difference. You are dishing out a significantly more a larger amount of money to go on a cruise.
Mhm.
And then you're paying for the autographs on top of that, as you would
Yep.
going to a con of some kind,
Mhm.
unless you're traveling across the country to go to this con. Most people are local or they travel,
Mhm.
they can travel 12 hours, whatever, by car. But I think that for the cruise, I think also the expectations have been set that if an actor wants to have interaction when they're out and about, I think a discerning person will be able to understand that's what they're doing.
Mhm.
Or, like you said, Adeena, if they're sitting at a very small table eating lunch, perhaps they're not as open in that moment for
and
people
now
to sit with them.
that last morning, the buffet area was like the only place to get something to eat. So there's if they want to eat, there's really not a humongous choice. But the rest of the cruise week, there is choice. They do have choice. They do not have to be out in that. So yes, there's an understanding of that. Now that said, sometimes some of them will hit the buffet because of the timing and they are just walking through to grab some food to get out and they have something to be. But usually most people are reasonable. And I've even actually my last interaction with John Delancey was on the cruise last year, 2 years. He was clearly
I remember.
walking through.
Oh,
And so we
yeah.
just did fist bump, kind of like a fist bump on the way, or you say hi and just move on. You can, at least most of us can tell what the situation calls for. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think John Delancey is really fantastic to hear talk to. I got to hear him talk one time in Columbus again, and he was so entertaining. He was just interesting and
great voice.
Just really
wow, what a
wonderful to
voice.
listen to.
I got to see
He's got
him
some
in
good stories.
I got to see him and the Doctor in Toronto at Roy Thompson Hall. They were, I think, doing a thing on the music of Star Trek, and they would like the way they would riff on each other or riff with each other, however you want to phrase it, was perfect. And they just both have really good voices. So,
I remember
he's a lot of fun to listen to.
I remember from last year, Adeena, you told us that there were some like skits, routines, and things like that they did on stage. Was there anything that you saw that was, this was hilarious or this was interesting or anything of that going on?
Yeah. So like any other cruise, in the evening, there's evening entertainment. And so on this cruise, the evening entertainment are things done by the Star Trek actors. And so every night it's a different show. And so the shows this year one was like a game show where they had 2 teams and 3 of the actors on each team. Plus they pulled in one person from the audience for each team. And it was just a game show. One night it was Tawny Newsome and Eugene Cordero did improv.
Oh my gosh.
And they are hilarious. They've done improv on the cruise before, but in the past that was like later evening entertainment. This was brought into the main show, which was good because that was like packed. And then John Delancey had his Curtis Institute of Music people. Anthony Rapp sang one night.
Oh, that's
another
cool.
night the last night they did a variety show, which was just a bunch of miscellaneous like skits. But then one night every year I've been on the cruise, they've done a script read act out. They take an original series script and then they have different people play the parts and they act it out. So this year, in honor of the 60th anniversary, they did The Man Trap, which was not the first episode filmed, but the first episode that aired.
Yeah.
And Sandra Gimple, who played the salt monster, that was the only actor portrayal of the actual thing. They did have her come out in like a salt monster mask and everything like that.
Oh, how nice is that?
But the rest of that, it was played by different people. I'm trying to even remember. Jonathan Frakes played Kirk. Doug Jones played Spock.
That actually works perfectly. That makes perfect sense with those two actors.
John Billingsley played the Doctor, on the planet. The husband
the husband married to
the
the salt monster, right?
Yeah. So, and that was hilarious. And one of the things that makes that hilarious is because they have like only like a minute to practice and rehearse, so it is not well rehearsed. So there's a lot of I'm going to say some ad-libbing and some unexpected things, every time that I saw any of the actors, one of the things I like to tell them is how much like we really do enjoy all the imperfections. Like we love it. And especially knowing these people are perfectionists. They typically are used to the idea of, they're doing a theatrical performance and it's meant to be like perfect. Yeah, again, understanding live theater, anything can happen, but really they're usually well rehearsed and things are, and so I can understand when you are used to being a perfectionist and then when you're put in a situation that is not perfection, it can be very like frustrating. So I always like to tell them how much we enjoy like this thing of the non-perfection, because it's just so fun and to see them have fun. And there were a couple of times that were just so funny. They were breaking character and there was a bunch of ad-libbing. It was so that was, I think, my favorite. Every year, I think that is my favorite nighttime show.
I could just see Billingsley just ad-libbing all the way through it. He is
did.
So,
and actually, I wasn't sure if some of his was ad-libbed or was kind of planned. So I did get the opportunity later the next day to ask him. And yes, he said it was ad-libbed. And so much fun. So much fun.
Also, Adeena, you got to be a part of, if I'm not mistaken, a very special vow renewal of Mark and Lisa Sickle.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
On dry land, but officiated by none other than our friend John Billingsley, who some of the video I saw, it appeared he was ad-libbing a bit there too.
A little bit, yep.
Yeah. But that looked really...
But he had written
like
a really nice, like, thing for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mark and Lisa, they started the Star Trek family group. So for anybody listening who's on Facebook and is not part of Star Trek family, you should definitely join. It's like 14,000. I don't even know how many members we have, but it's a very positive, inclusive community there. And Mark and Lisa are real life friends of mine because they live local to me. So I actually know them not so much from the Star Trek family group, but Mark is also captain of our local Star Trek club ship, part of the fleet, and our ship is USS Monocacy. And Lisa is from Puerto Rico. So yeah, when we were at the Puerto Rico stop, that's where they chose to do vow renewals, and
wonderful.
John had graciously offered to do that. And so yeah, he had written something nice, and so there was maybe 30 or 40 of us who showed up for that. It was lovely.
No, they posted a lot of pictures on Facebook. I saw that.
Yeah. It was really nice. Brian. The Sickles. Oh, that's okay, Steve. Mark really does a nice job too of posting videos and kind of daily updates. So for those of us who needed to live vicariously through them, and it's nice seeing the Star Trek family photos too, and other people that are a part of the Star Trek family, but also we see at Trek Long Island. It's really, you guys really should, if you're a Star Trek fan and you want to be a part of a Facebook group that has really wonderful interactions. Do that. We'd love to have. We've talked about having Mark and Lisa on the show to talk about the Star Trek family, but also about Engage, the magazine. That we've all been a part of in various different ways, and so to talk about that too. But so, Adeena, anything surprise you this time about the cruise? It could be an interaction, something about the ship, something. Anything surprise you, or was it just really just wonderful all the way around? And
yeah, it was just wonderful all the way around. I would say the one other most fun interaction that I had was the last port day. We were at Royal Caribbean's. They own an island called Coco Cay. And so I'd gotten off for a little bit. I wasn't really interested in doing too much. I, hung out the beach a little bit, walked around. But then I came back to the ship. And I like on these cruises actually hanging out on the ship when we're docked, because a lot of people are off it. So it makes the ship much quieter. Right. It's just kind of nice to roam around the ship. Well, so at some point I pop up on the pool deck, and they have a big screen there, and they're frequently showing either episodes or movies. And so I come out and they're showing Star Trek 3. I'm like, oh, cool. I will just sit and watch Star Trek 3 for a little bit, maybe play on my phone a little bit, whatever. So I start going over, I'm like looking for, and there are plenty of seats. So there's like kind of right near me. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to sit here. And then I look, and in the next seat over, the next seat is Walter Koenig.
Oh my gosh.
I absolutely despise you.
So I kind of like point to the chair. I'm like, kind of like, I do the gesture, like, can I sit? And he does the gesture. Yeah. Like, yes, sit. So I'm basically watching Star Trek 3, a movie I have seen literally 100 times, with Walter Koenig.
That is really special.
Now, the only sad thing is, now he is also in his early 90s. He has a hearing problem. He can't hear very well. His mind is just as sharp as ever, and everything else, he's fine, but he can't really hear. So I didn't really get to talk to him. And the same thing, I met him 2 years ago because he was on the first cruise I was on. And yes, again, hearing is an issue, but other than that, he is fine. So I didn't get to talk to him, but I got to watch part of Star Trek 3 with him.
Did you snap a incognito selfie?
No, I'm that. No, I thought of if I could have confidently said, "May I do this?" I might have, but I was like, "No, this is I'm just going to enjoy this and not take a selfie."
I dig it.
Star Trek 3 with Chekhov.
Yep.
Yes.
But when I ran into Walter at the strike at Paramount Studios, I asked him for his photo, and he graciously said yes. So I've got a picture of him at that event.
Nice.
He's just a generally nice person.
He is. And like I said, I just kind of in that moment, I felt a little self-conscious about asking about the picture. So I'm like, no, I am just going to enjoy this, enjoy the memory, and that's cool enough. That's good enough.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So you already have your next year's booked.
Yep.
That's correct. Okay. And you said they're celebrating the 40th of the next generation.
So I think it's a combination of things. It's the 10th cruise. So I think they're making a big deal about, hey, this is their 10th anniversary cruise. And then there happens to be some anniversaries in the Trek thing, like the 40th of Next Gen. I think several of us were expecting to see like the whole Next Gen cast on the ship next year, but it's not. It's like half.
Right.
So I think, like I said, they're leaning in more towards, hey, this is the 10th anniversary of the cruise and everything. Now, that said, I didn't decorate my door. Door decorations are a big deal, but I just didn't have the mental bandwidth to do it this year, so we didn't do it this year. But I'm already starting to be like, no, for the 40th of Next Gen, I do want to do something with my door, and I do want it to be epic.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is yet. I have no. I don't have a fully fleshed out idea yet, but
got 11 months to work this out. 11 months.
I do.
So I have another question. So would a non-Star Trek fan enjoy this cruise, or is it annoyingly nerdy everywhere you go?
Well, the person to
if you're
ask,
not a Star Trek fan.
Yeah. If you're not a Star Trek fan, but you're with someone, like you are, we call them the non-Trek spouse.
Okay.
I have it on good authority from my former spouse who went with me the first year I went. Plus, I've met other non-Trek spouses. Yeah. And you know, my ex Greg, he will tell you, like, at the end of the day, it's a cruise.
Yeah.
And I remember when I asked him, I was like, do you want to go on this with me? He's like, and he's been on cruises before, so he knows what the cruise experience is like. He's like, you're asking me if I want to like get away for a week from work, from the kids, be on a cruise where you're, he's like, yeah. And he was able to like do his own thing. He spent a lot of time in the fitness center, which is his thing. And he even attended several of the science and other kinds of like seminars that they had. And he said he enjoyed those. But yeah, you could go to the pool, you can go to the fitness center, you can sit in your cabin, you can sit out on deck, you can do, and then when you have the port days, when you're at the port, you get off the boat and you do that's not a Star Trek thing, that's just normal stuff.
Yeah.
And then the only thing I asked of him was, hey, I want to eat dinner together and we go to the show every night. And even as a non-Trek person, he enjoyed the show because the shows are like when Anthony Rapp sang. He's singing a bunch of, he was in Rent. He will sing a Rent song and then other stuff. When John Delancey did the Curtis Music Institute, yes, it's Star Trek theme, but it's still like orchestral music. The game show, it's kind of Trekky, but so yes, non-Trek people can definitely going with the Trek spouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, I would be surprised if someone said, "Oh, let's just go on this cruise." Like, It would be like I'm going on a Disney cruise. And I don't like Disney. You wouldn't do that either.
Yeah, and you can't book this through the regular Royal Caribbean website. You have to do it through the company that hosts this. So people aren't going to mistakenly book this.
Right.
That's
right.
So
that would
do
be
I
a
hear
shocker.
that a pitch is coming, Brian, for your lovely spouse?
I've tried for the last several years. I was like, hey, wouldn't you like to try this and do this? And Adeena says that it's fine. Her husband went and it was fine, but she's not convinced yet. So I'm praying about it. I believe that it's possible.
Well, booking for people who haven't been on yet opens tomorrow. I mean, so those of us who have been on, we get to book early.
Sure,
right.
Regular booking opens up tomorrow.
I don't have the money for that.
I don't know. Our problem is too. I'm possibly stepping into a new job here in the next couple of weeks, so I've only got so much vacation. We've already got it planned for the rest of the year, so we'll have to.
Yeah, I can't help
but
you
anyways,
with that.
I know it's not.
But we
your
live
problem,
vicariously
really.
through your enjoyment of it. That's the thing, It's like, are we going to the 60th convention? This year in Las Vegas. Probably not, but doesn't mean that we can't enjoy when people tell us about it. So we live through you.
Right. Oh, I would love to go on the cruise. I would love to go to Vegas for the big convention.
I miss Vegas.
These are goals for us as a team. If anyone wants to sponsor us, we're accepting sponsorship actually right now. And so there you go. Put that out there. Very soon we're going to be making an announcement, guys. I just made a decision for us about pursuing sponsorship for the podcast. So anyways, I digress. Adeena, is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you'd like to throw in before we say bon voyage?
We sail away. Sail away.
I think we covered.
I
think we covered all the highlight. I mean, there's still. I could probably talk for 2 more hours about this. There's so much, but I think we covered a lot. We covered a lot. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't really mean it when I said I hated Adeena. I just want that to be official.
That's just jealousy talking. That's all. Just jealousy.
Sure. We don't need any emails about the feud going on between me and Adeena now.
You're just a sweetie. Why are you picking on her?
So this has been another exciting episode. A little bit different, but we love it. We love it when we get to talk Star Trek in any way, shape, or form. And we're happy for our friend Adeena for making this a part of her yearly rhythm and routine. And we are just happy to talk to her, see her pictures. And like we mentioned, all the pictures of our friends from the Star Trek family that go on this cruise and post, and even some of the actors and TV people behind the scenes themselves that we know personally that have been on the show that will post stuff. So hope you guys get a chance to get, like Adeena said, the cruise is open again here, as of course it'll be several weeks once this episode actually airs. But hop on that, and if you get a chance, sounds like it is a lovely time to get away and nerd out or just enjoy some good shows that are Trek themed and good music, good food, good hanging out with other Star Trek fans. Star Trek fans are some of the greatest people in the world, if you ask me.
We know because we see them at Trek Long Island this year, and the last few years. We get to know these really wonderful people that are Trek fans.
Yep. And speaking of Trek Long Island, make sure you guys get your tickets right now for Trek Long Island. They've got a fantastic lineup of actors coming, including fantastic podcasts. You might know one of them that's going to be there. It's called The Big Sci-Fi Podcast. And we're going to have a lot of fun this year hanging out together. So come get your tickets, say hi to us, come to our panels, and let's talk some Trek together and see each other face to face. And until next time, make sure you guys treat each other well. Man, we need some peace in this world now more than ever. So let's be that peace with every single person we shake hands with, give a hug to, work next to, play beside, or live next to in our neighborhood. Let's be that peace that we so want. Until next time, live long and prosper. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of The Big Sci-Fi Podcast. We're a proud part of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network, and you can listen to more of our over 150 episodes at trekgeeks.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel now. Until next time, live long and prosper.